Hi everyone, this is Gary Brown. This is your Vulnerability Scanning and Credentialed Patch Audit module. The purpose of this lab is to familiarize you with vulnerability scanning in Nessus. I'll be showing you how to navigate and configure the Credentialed Patch Audit and perform the network scan. Let's log on to your Azure Labs environment 0 and open our Ubuntu One server machine. I already have them running so you can catch up. I'll go ahead and connect. To start this lab, you should have the Windows Server 2022 running and Ubuntu Client running as well. So you should have 3 virtual machines running in Hyper-V. CNG student, we will log in with the password CNG student. Bang. Double-click Firefox here in the left pane. Never mind typing in the URL, just click this shortcut we got here. So we'll just click this localhost icon here to get there. Now, as you can see, I have other credentialed patches that I've written, but I want you to create your own, and they're pretty easy. So you get to the scroll bar here in the bottom, scroll all the way right. At the top right, you'll see New Scan. Click that. There are a series of scans that are available, including the basic network scan, the credential validation, advanced scan. I'm not going to read them all. But where we want to look at is the Credentialed Patch Audit. This is actually checking to make sure you have all your patches installed on your OSs. So we want to do a Credentialed Patch Audit. That's the most intrusive audit we could do. And with that being said, it's the best scan you can do. So when you go to create a new scan, it starts you off in the Basic Settings tab. You want to name your scan. Let's call the scan CPA underscore your first initial last name. In my case, it's G Brown. We want the folder, the default folder that the scans go to is going to be My Scans. And the targets we want to target is our Ubuntu One client. That is 192.168.100.6 for the IP address. And then we want to target the Windows Server. That is 192.168.100.7. You can also include a file that has all your IP addresses too, but we're just doing 2 scans. We have 2 targets. There's no need to do the file. All right, now from there we go to credentials. Now, as you select credentials here, they will populate on the right here. And so we know we're scanning a Windows machine. And we know we're also going to be using SSH to scan the Linux machine, the Ubuntu machine. So as we scroll right, we can minimize these 2 here. So that adds 2 types of credentials that we need to add for Windows and one for SSH. Let's go ahead and do Windows. Our authentication method for Windows is going to be password. The username will be Nessus. The password will be CNG student. It will be the same password that we've been using for CNG student. That's capital C N G, capital S student, exclamation point. The domain that we've configured on our domain controller is pikespeak.edu. We're going to leave the rest of these check marks default. We don't need to mess with that. So our Windows configuration is done. Now let's go to our SSH configuration. We're going to be using password. There are better ways like certificates, public key, but we are using password for our SSH connection. Our username that will log into the the Linux machines is CNG student. It will be the same password as the regular CNG student. For this, I'm just going to click this. But it's capital CNG, capital STUDENT, exclamation point. Elevate with privileges. That would be sudo. Now we can scroll down, and we're using port 22 and OpenSSH 5.0. So we're going to go ahead and accept those. And that is a complete configuration for a credentialed patch audit. So now we save this. Now that we saved it, we're back into my scans. We click the audit you just created. In my case, it's CPA Brown for Credentialed Patch Audit G Brown. Click that. We scroll to the right and select Launch. And now we play the waiting game. Okay, that scan appears to have completed. Let's take a look at the results. Wow, it's reporting a lot of vulnerabilities for our domain control of the Windows Server. Quite a bit for the Ubuntu client as well. Let's drill into some of these vulnerabilities. Let's only do it for let's firstly do it for our domain controller, the 100.7 machine. Let's look at the critical ones. So we're going to reorganize this by severity. Okay. Let's go to this first critical here. This is telling us that the Windows remote host is missing security update or hot patch. Apply security update. There it is. That's the fix text. These KBs and these critical vulnerabilities are, if they got a CV of a 9, there'll probably be an exploit in the wild or out there in the internet. So these are very important that the patch management team resolve. You, as the information system security officer or the vulnerability management technician or whatever you become in this role, the person who's performing the scans doesn't necessarily also provide the remediations. So you would give this to the team or these to the teams that would be resolving the vulnerability. Yeah, take a look at some of these vulnerabilities. I just drilled into one, this critical 9.8 CVSS score vulnerability, and it is essentially an obsolete version of Microsoft Edge. So again, this is your patch management team. It should be, if they're not identifying the patches, the information security personnel should be, and coordinated with them to get those patches resolved in a timely manner. The final thing I want to show you is how to produce a report with Nessus. So we can go back to host and we just scroll right a little bit and we see the report button. Let's go ahead and click that. Complete list of vulnerabilities by host. That's what we want to see. So, and we want to see the report in HTML. Generate report. You can see the report comes up here. Let's go ahead and double click that. It opens in your browser. So I want to see Tenable Nessus, the name of the scan, and it's your name, when it was conducted, and the vulnerabilities by host. I want it to show that you've scanned both those machines. If you can get the report to me, you can. You should have internet access here, so you can go to pikespeak.edu. To submit this project, I want the whole scan, Tenable Nessus, CPA, your first initial last name, vulnerabilities per host, the machine. I want this whole file. And the way you can get that to me is these Ubuntu machines have access to the internet. So you just go to pikespeak.edu and you would log in just like you would your computer at home, and you submit that file in D2L. If you need any help, give me a call. I hope everyone has a good week. Thank you.